Hey you guys, what's good? Welcome to Esme&Eric's YouTube channel. You guys like, subscribe, comment, and follow. I got a poll here for you guys. Are the CNC being transparent? Hell nah. Or yeah. We we got a lot of the we got a yeah with a lot of the I guess you call them the ones that are on the bandwagon. Those are the people that get hurt the most because they're disposable. They're easy to be disposed of. Um, my brother did a video yesterday, and I had to put my take on it because he is a really hard worker, you guys. There's a lot of us that are hard workers. A lot of us came from the gutter. A lot of us came from going to jail, trafficking drugs, even some people that got a second chance, and I feel like we fall in that category. And my brother made a good point. Hey, he made a really good point. He stated that without our background, our shitty background, you wouldn't know nothing about us. So I had to put it out there as well because some of us have, some of us came from, I don't know, how do you guys want to say it? We came from like not a good background. Some of us came from families that weren't connected, and I feel regardless of the situation, if you're connected or not. What I mean by that is some of the some of the leadership that been holding down the spot have been their children have been blessed into it, and are now fulfilling their spots. But I wanted to make it clear, like 100%, it's not hard, you guys, because we get a lot of money from the feds. And last term, a lot of people were running for chief and council for change. And you guys, a lot of the change, we could have had it with the Alberta separatists. They were willing to separate from Alberta and still work with the tribes. Or if not, we could still maintain and be sovereign or be a part of Canada. That would have been some major change. So for you guys, the ones that want change, I feel like you shouldn't cry about it anymore. Don't cry about it or bitch about it, because that was your chance right there to change. If you guys think about it, we have the royal proclamation of when the king and the queen first came here. And if Alberta was to move out of Canada and separate itself to be a sovereign nation, that would mean they're tinkering with it. So if you're going to tinker with the proclamation, then why not tinker with the blood tribe? Well, I'll use us for example. Why not tinker with us for change? Like we bitch and cry about that black guy making Red Crow sign the treaty. So what? We could have changed it. If these separatists came in, we allowed them to leave. We can actually revise it. We can edit it. We can clarify it. But we chose not to, and leadership chose not to, because they know we're going to have to start getting off our asses and start working, and we can't receive these so convenient government transfers that we get from the feds when it comes to money for social development, welfare, money. We don't even have an economy, you guys. I hate to break it to you. The ones that think we're making all that money, we're rich from the Timothy Hay plant. Let me remove this. Let me remove that for a second. That's a video, you guys, I made. The water was dripping on my rag for like 10 minutes, and it left a wicked rank grease spot on the towel there that was left in there. So I'm gonna speak about the water too, you guys. So hang tight with me. We have so many issues that we have to deal with, you know. And Kainai is one of the biggest reservations, you guys. I don't know if you guys know that, because I was told in school. I don't know about how the Navajos go. Those guys own the Grand Canyon. Those guys own. That's a fucking huge reservation. So I'll use ours for an example. We get all this money from the feds, and we use it, and we top up every fiscal for the social development, for the kids, all the youth, the programs. When people like, I'm gonna use my cousin Vern that ran for chief last round. He wanted to change that. He wanted us to enter a $50 billion industry. He wanted us to actually like set up a Walmart and stop appeasing the Napiquans and get things going. See, the reserve wasn't ready for that because they don't have, well, until recently, my YouTube channel and other people, Corey Morgan, explain to you guys what's really going on with kainai, what's really going on with this fucking reserve, you know. And he got a lot of backlash for it because he's a Napiquan, he's a white guy, and they're like, well, come here talking about this and that, you know. And I think Sixaga actually sued him, but he's actually a good guy. He's the one that's going to explain to you guys what's really going on. And leadership wouldn't like that because that starts kind of directing us towards change. And my buddy did a video yesterday, and I had to add this to the video. He's an entrepreneur. You guys, cannabis is legal, and there's a lot of money to be made with it. It's $1 billion industry. I believe it's $7 billion a year. So we can enter a global market, not just Canada, a global market. And we can actually start making money and revenue for ourselves. Sure, we'll get the audits. Sure, we'll get the CRA on our asses, but who says that's a bad thing other than leadership? You guys, I want to make this clear today in my video. Leadership really gets riled up when we speak about these kind of issues. They get riled up because they don't have, they know that that kind of change isn't going to be convenient for them. It's not going to be easy for them to give family members contracts, $1 million contracts. It's not going to be easy for them to give standoff everything anymore. They are really swaying us away from change. And then when somebody speaks about change, they're like, oh no, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. My cousin Vern knows what he's talking about. He's talking about us dropping that word, lazy Indians. Because that's the way the government portrays us, because we're lazy, and when we need more money, we start crying about it. We start bitching about it. And I thought to myself, why not cause a little riffraff by bringing up the subject of change? Why not? You know, why not? If it wasn't for us average Joes down here in the gutter, the government wouldn't give you guys all that money for social development, for the youth, for the up-and-comers, for the programs. The reserve would not get any money from it whatsoever. And I think about it right now. I think about the change that we can make. Even if Alberta was able to separate, we would be able to amend the treaties. We'd be able to change. So that's the change everybody talks about. If we're not ready for it, we just got to admit it. We're not ready for it. If we're not ready for it, then we'll do it next year. If not, we'll do it the year before. We'll eventually, somewhere down the road, change it. But I get right now we're not ready for it because there's not too many people on the reserve that are educated about it. Educated about it is, I want you guys to know 100%, if you're going to get educated about it, know that kainai does not have a economy. Kainai does not have an economy. It does not have its own money. It does not have anything. So that's why when we start bitching and crying, the government, the people start calling us lazy Indians. My cousin Vern wanted to change that. He wanted to put a Walmart right up on the fucking where that stupid recovery home is. Who needs a recovery home? Recovery home at home. This doesn't make sense. That right there would have been able to generate millions and millions of dollars for our people. But instead, whatever business we got, whatever business or deals in the dark that leadership has, it would come to an end, especially with kainai, especially with Cartston. There'd be no Travis, no Frills, there'd be no more IGA, there would be no more pharmacy. There would be no more of that, you guys. If we were able to put in a Walmart, we would single-handedly tank the Cartston economy. We would initially get back what is ours. And for everybody to think that that's impossible, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. You guys got to understand it's possible with that type of change. But what I don't get is how, like, people will talk down on us and say this, that we don't have the right to speak. We don't have the right to speak, yet we're the reason why you guys got that money. Like, we're the reason why welfare exists. We're the reason why programs exist. There was so much, like, the reserve, if they don't like you, they'll try and make it, they'll make it difficult for you to make any moves. Like my father wasn't too looked upon by most of these people that are in leadership currently. So when my dad got buried, his funeral and all that, they gave us a really hard time. They didn't allow us to have him at the gym. They didn't allow us to, they actually had the audacity to say that last term they put in a BCR stating that they're centralizing all funerals to Gladstone Hall because that's where the machine and equipment are. So I thought to myself, well, how come the they're centralized in it, and how come you're just telling us now? So I thought about it right there. Okay, my dad, a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of that was because of me. A lot of people thought that my dad was the drug dealer, my dad was the hustler, when it was me. It was all me. I even told my lawyer that I'm the one that got myself into trouble. I'm the one that started a lot of stuff that I guess you won't look at as positive. So my father got looked at the same. Now my family gets looked at it. My mom just got recently booted from the shelter. They had a program in the back where they were giving out homes and whatnot, tiny homes, and she was a candidate in there. And I don't know if you guys been to homeless shelters, a lot of addiction and all that stuff there. So my mom had an incident, and then bam, they just kicked her out, and then now she has no chance of getting a tiny home or anything. They'll let her sleep in the common area now at the shelter, but that's bullshit, you guys. Why start these programs when you guys pick and choose them like that? We're getting so tired of it, you guys. I'm tired of it. The shelter actually got its karma back. One of the employees really assaulted somebody really bad, and I was surprised when they lost their job because I was thinking they wouldn't. And I was like, I don't think they're gonna lose their job because this is how it works. But no, they lost their job, and I thought to myself, this girl that lost her job was really razzing my mom for the longest time at the shelter. She just wouldn't let her be. So I thought to myself, well, how come you can't just let her be? She's just doing her thing. Yeah, she has addiction like everybody else, and she's dealing with it. But yeah, point being, she lost her job, the lady, hey, and I was pretty happy about it. And I know I shouldn't say that because that's family as well, but you shouldn't treat somebody different just because you feel like you have the authority. You shouldn't treat somebody different just because they're in a tougher position than you. I want you guys to know that are watching, all that money that leadership gets comes from the people that we see up there. We see at the shelter, all the people going through addiction, all these kids getting themselves into trouble. That's why they get this money. And then they talk like as if it's their money, and we shouldn't say nothing. We shouldn't offer change. We shouldn't talk about change. So I thought about it, you guys. I was like, change is really coming fast. Like it's gonna be so like my channel is just a little channel, you guys. But there's gonna be other people out there that start speaking on it. Why doesn't kainai change if it's the biggest fucking reserve according to the textbooks? Why can't they make change? Why can't they start an economy? Why are they still third world? Why? I'll tell you guys why. Because this is how it works on every other reservation. I told my brother yesterday in his video that the reserve is not going to give him a BCR. Kainai Chief and Council are not going to give him a BCR because everybody else is going to want one. And then next thing you know, somebody heard it from Frog Lake. Now all they want is a BCR. They want a band council resolution for their business. And what happens then, the money that they can so easily scheme won't be so easily to scheme anymore. So I thought to myself, kainai, when it comes to help, especially when it comes to entrepreneurs, they got no reason to say no, but they have all the cause to speak about our background. Oh, you're a bad guy one time. We can't give you that BCR because we know you're a bad person. Only one man's going to judge us, you guys. One man's going to judge us. That's the Creator. And the Creator put us here to get through life. It's going to have its ups and downs. It's going to have its hurdles. But it doesn't matter, you guys. We're going to have to get through this one way or the other. And we're going to have to start our economy soon. So whether it's this term, next term, whether it's 10 terms down the road, we're going to have to eventually change that, you guys, because when it comes to help, especially our business people that are trying to get stuff going, they're having a difficult time with it. And then it fails. So they basically set us up to fail. And I thought to myself, why have a system like that set us up to fail when we can create a system that actually assists us to help us further and grow so we can enter this business economy, the business world. We can enter it. We can do a lot of things with it. So I thought to myself, why not give it a try and get things going for ourselves? Because if it's not going to work, then it won't work. If it's going to work, it'll work. But the thing is, we got to give it a shot. We got to at least somehow try. Because I think about it at times, you guys, like, change is so possible, especially kainai. We're so big of a reserve that we can do it. We can enter the economy, whether it's the 420 economy, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Costco. It does not matter. We can enter this economy. We can do things for our own. But yet there are still things out there that are stopping us. Now that brings me back to my subject of our is the leadership being fair with us? Are they willing to make that move? Because someone said when you get to council, you're basically just a yes man for the feds. What happened to saying no? There's 10 of you to say no, and then actually 11 people to say no. But I thought about it, you guys. I was like, why not say no for once, and why not change something? Because it must get tiresome when we start hearing these same subjects over and over. I'm here to tell you guys why they say no, why they don't want to help us, why they want to pass those BCRs for those little business license we can get. They said they're going to start a little program where we can start helping our entrepreneurs, but then they started a little booth and standoff where these little kids put up lemonade stands. And they're selling lemonade, and they were selling lunch to the workers at BTA that needed lunch. That's not what we're talking about, you guys. Bless the children and bless you guys for having a little program for them. But don't look at it as an entrepreneur and say this is how we create change and bring in a bunch of 6-year-olds to sell lemonade. We're not talking about setting up a lemonade stand. We're talking about opening up a pawn shop. We're talking about opening a gas station. We're talking about opening up a convenience store. 420 cannabis. we can enter this business if we wanted to and start things going, get things going, start them up right away. We don't get that, you guys, which brings me back to all the money that they spent. Like, we had a $3 million bill with Cardston for water, and we just have to pay $3 million every year, just 3 million, because believe me, the money that we have in those accounts are in the, they're almost there, you guys. But that money seems to go to the leadership and their pockets. So every seldomly, when they got to spend some big money, they start a project like they did the Moses Lake Reservoir. I mean, like, why would they start create a $16 billion or $16 million reservoir for water when all they have to do is pay $3 million a year to do Cardston, and we don't have to worry about the stains that we have. The video that I'm going to show you guys here in a second, I left the rag in the water for a few minutes. Here, check it out right now, actually, you guys. Don't tell me that it's safe to drink if this has only been dripping for 15 minutes and made this little circle of rust or whatever chemicals that is. See that little stain right there? That little stain was just for 15 minutes. 15 minutes left that little brown spot. And they said that the boil water advisory is not in effect and we can drink our water. Why drink the water when it looks like that? That is fucking crazy, you guys. Give me a second here. So you guys, I put a little poll here that says, are CNC being transparent? Hell no, or yeah. They're doing good. They're doing great. I don't know, you guys. It's up to you guys. Like, the decisions that we allow them to make. You know, we can actually stand up and get together at, like, in a business sector. All of us. It's up to us if we want to change this, and us entrepreneurs that are trying to get something going, like you guys. I'll be honest with you guys, I want to start a farm. We could do so much with it, and I also want to do fruits, vegetables, and eventually lean into the cannabis market. You know, there's so much we can do. My buddy wants to start a gas station. My bro wants to cut hair. We can get together and change that, you guys. So I'm gonna talk to my buddy and a couple other friends of mine, and I'm gonna try and get together, and we can start speaking up. You know, I'm not talking about. Well, I guess you can say I kind of am. I want to, like, actually go down there and put some signage up and say, you guys, you know, change is needed, especially in this sector. You know, how come kainai ain't allowing it? Because if they got the money and the means for that water reservoir, that little plant, water treatment plant, which costs $16 million, if they can dish out that kind of money, they can dish out a couple $100,000 for us that are trying to get something going. And for their only reason for not helping us is our background. That's it. My bro was always in and out of jail. I was always in and out of jail. I was always up to something. I have a shitty background, especially with the fentanyl. I'll never be forgiven for the fentanyl, you guys. Yet, here we are trying to make change. We want change. We want the leadership to know that the money is coming from the feds is for us. It's not for you guys. Stop getting mad at us when we speak up. Stop getting mad when we do live. Stop talking that kind of jazz. Because it's not your money. It's actually our fucking money to start. If we want to start a program, we can start a program. We just need you guys to help. Pass those goddamn BCRs and start putting your damn fucking pedal to the metal type thing so we can actually get things going. And I thought about it. I've already thought about it. We can make change if we get together and say we want to change. Biggest change came from them separatists, you guys. We can actually amend stuff. We can actually change things. We didn't want that either, so it makes me wonder, who else wants change other than us business owners, you know? Let me know, you guys. This is my live for today. I appreciate you guys for sticking around this long, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.